What's going on, guys? Cody from MotorcycleMD. In this video, we're still on the KZ400. We got some front forks to figure out. Very basic front fork system, but ideas changed when it came to what I wanted the bottom half to look like, and we got to put some gators on them and just rebuild them in general. That's what we will be doing in this video. Again, pretty basic. I am breaking this project bike down into specific topics because it's a process, and things change while you're working on it. All the time, especially when it comes to motorcycles. I personally feel like when it comes to working on bikes like this, or projects or builds that you're doing, putting details on your things that you can be proud of is all part of the process. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. We do videos on motorcycle repair, maintenance, project bikes, builds, whatever you want to call them. And if you enjoy this type of content, subscribe to the channel. Plenty more to come. And if you are new to the world of motorcycle maintenance and ownership, I have a course for you. In the description, it's totally free. 40 plus videos of just things that I've seen in the shop consistently that people seem to neglect or miss, that's so easy to do that it would save you tons of money. In the description below, pick it up while you're here. Totally free. But let's get into the bike. Forks. Probably gonna be very, very basic and straightforward. I've never had these apart before, but they're all pretty much the same on these older bikes. It'd be an Allen head, probably like a 6mm on the bottom. Boom, boom. We are going to be putting some gators on here. Haven't decided if I'm going to paint the bottoms yet or not. I am kind of going for like a steelish look, so I might just try to sand them in a certain direction to give them like a brushed metal look. TBD. I don't want to polish them though, and everybody paints them black. I don't really want to do that. This is our gator. I just want to make sure it's going to fit. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This will be a tight fit around here for sure, but we'll make that work. Free flowing. Nice. But when you get these apart, this surface here where this is actually functioning, probably about that much, is actually really nice. If there was rust all down through here, it'd be a different story, so there's not. So we're not even going to talk about that. We could drain these things out here at the bottom drain, but I'm just going to start popping them apart. Who cares? Just want to see if I can't get these cracked loose. Alright, see how lucky we get. This bike's been pretty good to us so far. Nice heavy hammer. Yes, sir. There's one. Feels loose. Okay. Obviously, you want a service manual to know how much fluid is going to go back in it. Sometimes you can just drain out overnight what was in it and then put back in the same amount, but when your forks have been leaking, that amount will not be accurate. Should have a snap ring. Flathead screwdriver. Pop one end out. There's the other. Depending on how rusted these things are, you can reuse them. Alright, so our snap ring is out. Now I'm going to go ahead and drop our bolt out, and it might just go and come right apart, or we might need to use it as a slap hammer. We'll see. Now let's make a mess. See if we can get any fork oil out of this. I wouldn't even call it fork oil, it's probably ATF. Oh, it smells beautiful. Feels like raw fish. Yep, there it goes. So this just slides right out. There's no slap hammer in it part. Alright, there's our oil seal. They have oil seal pullers and that kind of stuff. Use a flathead screwdriver. And it's aluminum, so it'll get hot quick. There we go. Collar, there it is. These really don't have too many bushings in them to like check and inspect for. Usually there's gunk that fills up inside of here. Do your best to try to clean the bottom of this stuff out. There's You do some crud in there. Contact cleaner works great. Brake parts cleaner. You can get long brushes if it's pretty crazy in there, but I just usually swish it around a little bit. Spend some time cleaning this thing up and figuring out what I want to do with the way that it looks. Right? I really just don't want to paint them black. I just think it's a little... That's scuffed right there. Let's see what we can do. I don't like the way that looks. That looks pretty dull. What does a orbital sander look like? I'm just tooling around here, guys. I'm just trying to figure out what look I want it to have. Looks pretty ugly. I mean, a softer grit. That looks pretty ugly too. That looks pretty ugly. It looks like garbage. Okay, so I do like that. That I can do. Just keep all of the sanding one way. Yeah, we'll use the orbital everywhere that we can. And then we'll try to hit this up going one direction. Whoo, my hand is tired. Like aluminum poisoning through my hands. The reason why I also wanted to sand the whole thing, I want to get any clear coat that's on it off. This aluminum is extremely soft. I can blow on it and the direction of it changes. Alright, so what I'm going to do is set this up in the vise the best way that I can, and then try to keep sanding it in a single direction. Nice and even. Gotta find this sandpaper I want. This is a 600 abrasive. It's pretty fine, and this, because it's aluminum, it's gonna pack this stuff in pretty quickly. But I just want to find something that looks nice. That looks pretty cool. Almost just looks like I'm kind of polishing it in a way. So this is more of a 150. Let's see what this looks like. Almost would be nice if I had like a belt sander. Not too much difference. I kind of just like the idea of the lines, being able to see the lines in it. So I'm going to go with the 150. It's not easy to keep it looking uniform. But the moment you go at a different angle, it changes it. Ah, it's hard. I can't get it to look consistent. It's like with pressure differences and a slight angle, it just shows all these ugly lines. What doesn't is a brass brush in the same direction. Like, look at this section here. I can take out all the lines and make it look like it's consistent pressure. So that's what we're gonna do. And you can like literally see the parts that you don't want and just blend it all in. It looks way better. I'll show you guys a close-up. So you can see this is the brush section. This is what it was looking like with the sandpaper, just kind of very random. I didn't like that, so this is the brush section right there that I've been working on. So I'll just do this entire fork like that. Make it look super consistent all the way around. So, one down. Not too bad. I just didn't want it to look like I did something to it. I wanted it to look like it was supposed to be like that. It was pretty good. Not too upset with it. Alright, so we'll put this thing back together and we'll get started on the second one. Probably do that one off camera. So it looks like we're going with I'm gonna go with a 15 weight oil in this. This is Bel-Ray 15 weight fork oil. Looking at 5.1 US fluid ounces. 5.4, 34 through 76, 5.4. Okay. Alright, so we have our well drained fork. Can't forget our bottom piece there. Completely sanitary table. We have our snap ring. We have our gator that needs to go down. Ratio right. Let's see, we got 5.4. We've got our fork seals from K&S, part number 16-1014. The funny thing is, what I don't have and I forgot to bring home was a fork seal driver. So we're going to try to make it work with using the old seals as a little bit of a cushion to punch them in. Alright, so we have our bottom bolt, new crush washer on it. I'm going to put a little bit of silicone right around this little top section of where the bolt is. The flange section, not a lot, just a little bit. Then what we will do is we will get our new fork seal. Put a little bit of oil on this. Go onto here with the cup side facing down. I won't go too far up. This is where it gets sketchy up here. We'll put this guy on. And then this guy will go down into there like that. Flip him over, push him down. Yep, this is gonna be fun. Put our old seal down on top of that. Now, what can we do? What can we do? Ooh, an old fork, old bent fork. Will this side work? Negative. It's definitely working. But I can't let this seal get in there. And that worked great. Awesome. We did it. Okay, now we have two options. We can load in from the top, or we can load in from the bottom. I believe we cracked this top loose already, and it's going to be under a spring pressure, and it will be less of a mess. So let's go ahead and drop our bolt down the top, get that hooked in. That should be tight. Let's go ahead and get this top off here. I'm going to put this back in the vise. Like I said, this should be under spring pressure, so just be mindful of that. Or it may not, we'll see. Yep, it is. Okay. Bring out. I'll wipe this down real quick. And load in our fluid. And we can carefully thread that back on. Yeah, the spring pressure's not that crazy. Put some fresh oil right around that O-ring there. If you want to replace it, you can. Usually they're pretty good. And we'll lock that down even more once it's in the triple tree. We'll get this primed. Alright, it's as good as a 40-year-old fork should be. We come down with our new gator now. We don't need to put that black piece back on there, because these are going to function as dust seals by themselves. Making sure it's nice and even. Sometimes there's holes on these. I usually face them towards the back angle if there was water, like a drain hole. You put them out the back. I believe these come with some bands. I'm not sure how I like the look of these, but we'll use it for now. These just look cheap, you know what I mean? I'd rather have like a solid band, not all this stuff that makes it look stupid. I got it from the hardware store. That goes for any of you guys out there using these clamps. They look cheap, you can do better. We are doing the steering head bearing, so I'm not going to assemble this completely, but I did want to see what it looked like. Not bad. Probably paint these black. Yeah, we'll paint those black. It's gonna look pretty cool though. I like that. Awesome, we got one fork done, right? Killer. But that's how things go on motorcycles, honestly, especially when you're doing something like this. Next video, we will be wrapping up the front end. We got the steering head bearings to do still. I gotta paint the front ears of the headlight, and I wanna mock up or cut, hack, whatever, a front fender for this thing so it looks decent with the design that we're going with. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and again, be sure to subscribe if you like this type of content. You might be watching this around the holidays, so Merry Christmas to you all. Really pumped for this next year to come. This is Cody from MotorcycleMD, bringing you guys some quality tips and tricks for your next build or your daily rider. See you next time. Later.